Hello and welcome back to the Canaries Chat channel. Today we have another transfer update video. A few more rumours flying around, whether that's incomings and outgoings. And also very recently, as of yesterday, there was a really good interview with Manning, Napa, and the Atanasios around the future of the club. So we'll cover a few bits off of that as well. They go hand in hand with some of the rumours that we're seeing at the moment. So yeah, let's get straight into it. In regards to outgoings, Josh Sargent, the second saga of the summer after Science, a lot of S's in there, but in regards to Sargent, there's obviously still rumours that Burnley and Wolfsburg were interested in him. Napa and the Atanasios were saying yesterday around actually, if the right price is kind of put in front of us, we will accept it. And in regards to, they kind of referenced Science, like he's managed to get a big move to Porto. We want players to come to us and think actually they could get a big move out of this. Whether fans agree with that or not, it makes us a more attractive prospect for other youngsters that are looking to potentially break into kind of like the English system, or looking to make a name for themselves by them knowing they've got a platform through us to perform and showcase their talents. It makes us a more attractive prospect there. But yeah, rumour is the last couple of hours, some outlets in Germany are saying Wolfsburg are very close to agreeing a figure with Norwich. We've obviously had these rumours of 16 million, 20 million. We'll wait and see what happens there, because I don't think we'll truly find out until it's actually announced what the actual figure is. But I think it's really important to understand that I've seen a lot of comments saying, well, to replace Sargent, we need to spend more than 20 million, or he's worth more than 20 million to us. He's got a 3-year contract. Absolutely valid points, but I think it's really important to remember what the player wants. He nearly got a move to the MLS last year. And actually, if he wants out, we don't want players there that are going to potentially not be given 100%. Josh Sargent has always given 100% to Norwich. He's been a faultless professional in every single aspect. And I think that favour is being returned by us going, actually, if a valuation that we're happy with is met, you can go and we won't kind of drag our heels with it. So I know some people won't like hearing that. Some people will say it's little old Norwich. Life as a Norwich fan, like we shouldn't be accepting that. But unfortunately, unless you're one of the like top 6 clubs in the world, every single club is a selling club and you've got a price. Every single player's got a price. You only need to look at kind of clubs in the lower to mid Premier League. All those players will go. Even Gibbs White, who managed to get European football with Forest, is going to Tottenham because of the money, the release clause. He wants to go, and I think that's the case here. So don't begrudge Josh Sargent at all. I think he's absolutely well within his right to go. No animosity at my end at all. He's been kind of the model professional, and I think if he can get a big move, especially before the World Cup in America, I don't blame him absolutely at all there. What I found quite interesting is some of the quotes coming out from last night. So one of them said, if Josh goes to a big club and has great success, that reflects well on us. But at the same time, he's the best striker in the Championship. Of course, we'd like him to stay. Even if Josh is here, there's still obviously an important role for Matthias to play, because obviously Chris Goran's come in. It seems like we brought him in to be the Sargent replacement. But that kind of echoing what we've said around that it reflects well on us if he goes and does well, and makes us a more attractive prospect to other youngsters coming over to England, or even kind of youth players in the top 6 teams may look at us as a really good opportunity to make that step up. What I would say is Napa had confirmed last night no kind of bids that matched Sargent's valuation to come in, so that may have changed today. And that in regards to Atanasio, he was saying that actually he has a right to leave if the money's right. So yeah, all interesting comments. Comments I actually agree with. Again, I know some people won't, but for me, we've got to be. No one wants a player that doesn't want to be here in the squad because it can unbalance the squad. So if he's happy to go, that valuation's met, then I think that'd be absolutely fine. I equally think if the valuation was never met, which by the sounds of it, it will be, but if it wasn't, I still think Josh Sargent would give his all. So yeah, one that does seem that we're getting very close to the end of now, but we'll obviously, of course, keep you updated if there's any updates in any way there. Just quickly before we get into the incomings, about 80% of the people watching this video aren't subscribed. We've set a very audacious task of trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the start of the season. So if you're enjoying the content, you enjoy Norwich City content, click the subscribe button and be part of that journey. Now into incomings. So one big rumour has now come out. So Mirko Topic, we are very interested in the defensive midfielder. He is from, again, if I pronounce this wrong, apologies, from Famalicão, Portuguese side, Serbian, 23, 24, I believe, 6'3", defensive midfielder. Underlying stats show that he's kind of very good at winning duels. And yeah, I think could be the answer. We've obviously been really interested in Pelle Mattsson. Supposedly a deal, according to a couple of people on X, was done. But this could now throw a real spanner in the works. The reason being why we've maybe turned our attention now to Topic over Mattsson is around the ESC. So in regards to the ESC, it's about the work permit, and Topic wouldn't take up an ESC space. So if we could go and get him, that would be kind of a lot easier for us to process than Mattsson, due to, again, the ongoing work to try and get Diallo. Diallo would need an ESC to come over to us. And there's only a limited amount of spaces that you can give to players for those separate work permits. So if we can minimise the amount that we're giving out, then absolutely it kind of seems a little bit of a no-brainer. Topic does seem more of an enforcer rather than what Mattsson is, where Mattsson can do that side, but he also sits in between the centre backs, kind of plays those kind of decisive balls between the thirds. But he does definitely seem more of an enforcer. I'll be honest, it's not a player that I have loads of knowledge about. Done some research today once we've been rumoured with him, but it does seem an exciting prospect to have a kind of actual out-and-out physical central defensive midfielder. Again, it adds to potentially that spine of the team that we're looking to strengthen. We've got Kovacevic, Harry Darling, Medic. We could have Topic come in, Fitzgoran. Like, they're all players kind of in that spine of the team that we're looking to improve, which is maybe quite telling. Maybe that was one of our weaker points last year, but it's really interesting to see that we've been linked with another midfielder. Now, what it does seem, going by Napper's comments last night, is that it would be one or the other. It would be Topic or Mattsson. It would not be both of them, supposedly. And yeah, I think by the sounds of it, due to those work permits, it does sound like Topic would be the preferred position or player to go for. So yeah, certainly one to keep an eye out for, and one that we'll keep on tracking. But by the sounds of it, that is something that we will be looking to make a move on. Obviously, as previously mentioned, Diallo is going to be using up an ESC. By all intents and purposes, that is what's slowed Watford down. He would have had to, well, the Liga season would have had to have started, or the French league season, should I say, would have had to have started for him to then be able to come over, because they didn't necessarily want to use that ESC right there, right then. So what that means is that we can swoop in and be a bit quicker. We can allocate him that work permit and get him through the door a bit quicker. So it seems like it's ongoing, and we're still hopeful of that happening. But as of yet, no further kind of rumours or anything there with Diallo. What Napper did say is that if Sargent does leave, we would then be looking to replace that position. I don't personally think we'll be looking for then another starting striker. I think Fitzgoran will sit into that. Cernat will be a backup. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we find someone who's either going to challenge Sargent for second place or someone to be third place, and we can use Sargent in different positions. It might just allow that bit more versatility. We've been linked with multiple strikers. Windass has been the most recent one that we've been linked with. But I do think that now depends on if Sargent goes. But by all intents and purposes, that is probably going to happen. So I imagine we'll start getting linked with a few more strikers as well. And yeah, we'll keep you across all of those. There were some more comments made in this kind of open fan forum yesterday. One of them was the Atanasio's talking about how when they took over from Delia, they promised they'd open the checkbook. And I think by now we can say that actually they're following through on that commitment already. You look at Cernak, you look at Hirasek, you look at Fitzgoran, combine those all together, and we're talking around the 20-odd million pound mark already, just across a couple of transfer windows, which I know when we got promoted to Premier League, there was a time that we did spend a lot of money. That was kind of heavily offset, obviously, by the Buendia money as well. But it does really seem to be that we're happy to move forwards now with spending more. We don't have to sell before buying. That puts us in a stronger position negotiations-wise. I think that's why we're getting a lot of business done early. And then when it comes to Sargent and when it comes to science, we can hold out for that price that we want because there's not the pressure to sell. They did mention around developing the stadium, which they're looking into, but it's going to be quite expensive. So I don't think that one will kind of really take off straight away. That one will be a slow burner. And what was really impressive was that I feel like they're trying to shake this little old Norwich attitude. We're willing to spend money when we go up into Premier League. We're not just going to be happy to be there and make up numbers. I think it was quite kind of telling. I think when we went up with Webber and Farker, though, we've got free hits. Every game's a free hit that we can go for. I don't think we're going to have that attitude with Manning. I don't think we're going to have that attitude with Napa. And they're not going to have that attitude with the new owners. They've said they want to stop this yo-yoing. They want to get us there, keep us there, which is great to hear. I think Manning's buying into it. Manning's been talking about winning, like you've got to live and breathe wanting to win. And I think Napa has got a point to prove now. And I think it's going to be telling with how these transfers go, what position the club move in. But the Atanasio's was saying that they don't do losing. They don't like losing. Brewers is a prime example that they've kind of built them up over time, and now they're relatively sustainable at a relatively high level. And that's what we want from Norwich ultimately. If we can be a mid-table Premier League team, that's a huge success. We've seen other teams do it: Fulham's, Brentford's, Brighton's, Palace, Bournemouth's. They've all been in very similar positions to us recently. They've been the ones being able to capitalise, and I think partially it is down to the money they've been able to spend, and really they've been able to capitalise on making signings which have just kept them in. And then once you're in, you know 3 teams that are coming up are going to be the favourites to go down. So you can hopefully then start building and building and building. And that's what's happened now. Some of them have got European football. I'm not saying that will happen with Norwich, but it is something that it does seem like a very long-term ambition is get us there, get us kind of steady, stop this yo-yoing, and cement ourselves in the Premier League as a Premier League regular. But I thought Liam Manning spoke brilliantly as well in that time, basically. Saying to Napa, if you're any good, you'll go and get Fitzgoran. He did that. But it really seems that everyone's on the same wavelength. And I know there's some confusion last year around Thorup saying, well, he never knew top 6 had to be the goal. So whoever's come out today. And of course, she would say that it was the goal. But it seems a lot more aligned. The message is a lot clearer. We want to be in the Premier League. We will get to the Premier League one way or the other, and we are going to back kind of Manning and Napa to get us there. So a very exciting time for Norwich City fans. I'm very excited. I can't wait for the season to start. But What are your thoughts on the new rumours? What are your thoughts on some of the quotes and some of the answers that have come out of this open Q&A? Are you happy with the direction the Atastasios are taking us under Napa and Liam Manning's lead? Comment down below your thoughts there. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, click the link in the description and become a member, and we will see you in the next video.